Hey guys, Jim here. I want to come back today with my recap of the 2023 National that concluded this past week in Chicago. I certainly was thrilled to be there and take part in it all. Ran into so many awesome people. It was just a great time. We had the Thursday night meetup with all the YouTubers, and there was well over 200 people there. And then we had a meetup on Friday night, and there were a ton of people there as well. Actually, didn't end up leaving there until about 1 o'clock in the morning on Friday night. And it was just a great time. And there were still people there actually when I left. But I just wanted to start my recaps here. Today is going to be a lot of me babbling about my thoughts and experiences. And then I'll probably break it down into one or two more videos showing most of my bigger pickups. I will show a few things today, but this is going to be at least 2 or 3 videos. That way there I don't end up making an hour-long video. But anyway, I'm just going to get right into it. So I got there early Wednesday around 10 a.m. I got into Chicago, went to my hotel, checked in, decided to go out over to the convention center and check that out. My hotel was about an 8-minute walk to the convention center, which it seemed faster than that, but it was an easy walk, so it ended up being about 8 minutes. I got to the convention center. There wasn't very many people there at all. The convention didn't open until 3:30. So got there, got in line for my VIP credentials, and there was only about maybe 10 or 15 people in line in front of me, so it went very quickly, got my credentials. At that point, I wanted to try and sneak into the show, into the show floor there, because I knew all the dealers were in there, and they were basically all set up and ready to go, and I could see people, some people were walking around in there, so I really wanted to try and get in there. I figured maybe I could get some good deals before they open. But I checked every entrance. They had security at every entrance, and it was really difficult. Actually, at one point, I saw a dealer who was headed towards the entrance, one of the entrances, and I got right up on his coattails to make off like I was with him. And I was going to try and walk right in with him, but the security guard, he was doing his job, and he noticed that I didn't have the proper ID badge, and he stopped me in my tracks, and he said, not till 3:30. So that was okay. I ended up going to Bill Murray's Caddyshack restaurant, which was not far from the convention center. Went and had lunch, went back to my hotel, and was relaxing for a little bit. And then Mark RudeDog21 called me and said he was going to head over to the convention center. That was around 2 o'clock. So I told him I would meet him there. I ended up going to the convention center at around 2:30, and I quickly found Mark and Rick, Vintage Oddball Cards. They were right in line, almost to the front of the line at that point to get their tickets. And by then, the line was wrapped around the whole room. I can't imagine how long it took people to get through that line. But so that was that. They got their tickets, and we kind of all stood aside, and just people were coming up to us. Like, there was so many people that we just started seeing everybody we knew. A lot of YouTubers and people stopping. There was a bunch of us just standing there talking and everything else, and that was a fun time. So shortly after that, 3:30 came around. They opened up the show. I went right straight to SGC. SGC had a show special. They were $15 a card. You turn your cards into them. They take them back to their office in Florida, grade them, and send them back to you. And I want to give a shout out to SGC. I dropped those cards off right when the show started on Wednesday, and today's Thursday, but yesterday was a 1 week Wednesday, and I got an email yesterday saying that my cards were graded. They had a tracking number, and the cards were already in the mail on their way back to me. So that was just an amazing, and I know they got swamped there. Everybody was handing in submissions at that price, and I mean literally 5 business days they had my cards. Took my cards from Chicago to Florida, graded them, packaged them, got them to the post office in 5 business days. Totally amazing. Good for them. Shout out to them. They did a great job with that. And furthermore, I heard a couple of different stories about SGC's customer service. A couple of people had issues that they needed to deal with SGC about, and SGC just went above and beyond to make them happy. And the owner of the company was actually there at their booth, was talking to customers, taking care of issues, complaints, concerns, whatever it was. Just fantastic. Good for them, man. They're a great company. So within the next day or two, I only had 4 cards that I gave to them. It was such a great price at $15 a card. I had 4 low-grade vintage cards that I just figured, what the heck, let me get them slabbed. So that's what I got, but I should be getting them maybe tomorrow, if not Saturday. So that was cool. It was just a great show. It was huge. The show was probably at least 50 to 75% larger than it was 2 years ago in Chicago. And the crowd, it was a record crowd. I believe the most people ever to attend a national. And, I talked to old timers, and they would all said, without hesitation, that was the biggest national that they've ever seen. And it was good that they expanded it because, like I said, it was a record crowd, and it got to spread the people out a little bit, which was good, but it was still pretty packed in there at times. The only slight negative to the whole thing was the air conditioning was struggling. It was extremely hot outside, and you just pack that many people into the building, and the air conditioning was struggling to keep up. Me personally, it didn't really bother me. I don't mind the heat that much, but some people, the heat really bothers them, and I can see where that was definitely a problem. The heat issue was a problem certainly on Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday was a little better. Saturday was not that bad at all. I didn't end up going to the show on Sunday, even though I stayed right straight through. I didn't go. I was just, by 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon, I was just drained. My back was killing me, my feet, my legs. I didn't have that much money left, so I just said the heck with it. I ended up sleeping late Sunday and just took my time. I went to the Harley-Davidson store that was right next to my hotel, and then I just took my time packing and getting to the airport, and I was pretty much done. But it was really great. A lot of families, a lot of kids, young people enjoying the hobby, people enjoying spending time with their friends. Just totally really awesome, man. I mean, the hobby is booming, and the dealers, they were there to deal, man. They were I bought quite a few things, and I didn't pay sticker for not one thing, and I didn't see anybody who paid sticker price for anything. Everybody got stuff at cheaper than sticker price, and the dealers were just making deals, and they were moving stuff. There was a lot of transactions going on, and it was just awesome, man. And so speaking of families being there were a couple of great families that I met. One of them was Andy D's Collection here on YouTube. Andy was there with his wife and his 2 young children, and what a wonderful family, I'll tell you. Andy, first of all, he's a great guy, and I was really very honored that I was able to spend time with him. We talked a bit, we walked the show floor a bit, and it was just really, really great to meet him and spend some time with him, and to meet his family. His wife was very nice, his kids were great, his son was having a great time, and you can just tell Andy he's a great dad and a great guy, and it was my pleasure to be able to spend some time with him and his wonderful family. And also Liam, Junior Baseball Fanatic 12 here on YouTube. He was there with his mom and dad. Another great family. Liam, he's a good kid. He loves his vintage cards, and he's so enthusiastic. It's infectious. Just really enjoyed seeing him and talking with him. And I had a nice conversation with his mom and dad at the meetup, particularly on Friday night. Didn't see them too much on Thursday night, but I did have a really nice conversation with them Friday night. And they're really nice people, great to talk to, great parents, and just love to see the families being involved like that. It's really, really nice. Also, got to hang out with my good friend Mark, Rude Dog 21. I was very fortunate that we hung out a lot last year at the Atlantic City convention, and I also was very happy that we got to hang out quite a bit this year as well. We went out to dinner on Wednesday night. Mark and I, we went to Shoeless Joe's there in Chicago. Pretty cool place, like a bar and grill. They had a lot of memorabilia and stuff hanging up on the wall. They had big screen TVs all over the place, and we had a few drinks, had a nice meal, and we watched the Cubs and White Sox game on one of the TVs. Mark gave me this wonderful, awesome tumbler. As you see, he had this made for me. It says entering Fenway, and then it's got Kyle Yastrzemski's number 8 here, and then it's got all Kyle Yastrzemski stuff, all his cards. It's got some photos, like clips from newspaper articles. Just totally awesome, man. That was so cool, man. Thank you so much for that, Mark. When I saw Andy, right before Andy left, he said he had something for me, and he gave me this awesome Marcelo Meyer Topps Chrome, Bowman First Chrome Marcelo Meyer. He's a top prospect in the Red Sox system. And right when I first seen Liam and his parents, it was on Thursday afternoon. Liam had a couple of cards he wanted to give me. So he gave me this very nice Upper Deck Tony Perez game used relic, which is very sweet. And this beautiful 1960 Topps Vic Wertz. Great looking card. And also got the Junior Baseball Fanatic 12 sticker, which is really cool. So thank you for that, guys. Also at the meetup, Iconic Al gave me his custom card. He's a nice guy, really nice guy to talk to, funny guy. Just very loving the hobby. He's having a great time. Also got the Iconic Baseball sticker from Al. Also saw Eric Fall Leaf several times throughout the week. Had a nice opportunity to walk around with him on the show floor on Saturday for quite a while. Always great time talking to him. He does what he calls the 4-leaf finder's fee, where he puts together a bunch of envelopes, and he's got his little cards. They're almost like business cards that he made up, and each one, I guess, is a little different variation. You can see that says 3 of 10. So what he does is he puts one of these cards and a $5 bill in the envelope, and he hands them out to people, and he says, find a card or cards worth $5, put them in the envelope and get them back to me. So I did that. I found a pretty cool card that I think he would like. Put it in the envelope and gave it back to him on Thursday night at the meetup. So that was fun. Dave, Legends of the Dugout. Always enjoyed talking to him. It was great meeting him in person. He gave me his little card there. Saw Sammy Thunder. Sammy Thunder's a great guy. Had a great conversation with him on Friday night. Really enjoyed talking to him. And he did something that was pretty cool too. He had like a bunch of cards that he put in his hand, and he held them like this. And he said, pick one. So I picked a card. And it was the Sammy Thunder Custom. And then he said, okay, turn it over. So I turned it over, and in that, behind the custom card was this beautiful 67 Lou Brock. So that was pretty awesome. Thank you so much for that, Sammy. Also, Scott, Reindeer Studios, great guy, my favorite artist in the whole world. I ran into him several times as well throughout the week, and I've got a couple of additions to my Reindeer Studios custom collection. So Scott, every year he has these custom cards, and I've got to have at least maybe 6 or 8 different ones now. So he gave me his customs this year with that beautiful Hank Aaron. And this card is absolutely gorgeous, Christy Mathewson. So thank you so much for that, Scott. And then Scott had made up some cards for Dylan, and what it is Ted Williams surfing, and he made up a bunch of those, gave them to Dylan, double D vintage baseball cards, And Dylan was gracious enough to give one to me. And on the back, it talks about how Ted Williams was fishing and he ran out of bait. So he decided to give surfing a try. And that's what we have here on the cover is Ted Williams. He's got his Red Sox cap on while he's surfing, which is really cool. And that's what we have there. And also in very fine print, you can't really read it. It's very difficult to read, especially for an old guy like me. But it says, I'm paraphrasing, it says something like, the data contained on this card was completely made up by Reindeer Studios. So very, very, very funny. Very, Scott is just a great guy. That's all I'll say about that. Wade Boggs fan. John with Wade Boggs himself, and John autographed that one, and that one is numbered on the back, 7 of 100. Very cool. Seen John a couple times. Funny quick story. I was at a table. A lot of times you might people are walking by each other, but everyone's looking down at the cases and the cards. And I was at a dealer's booth, and I'm looking at all the cards in the case, and I was aware that someone was standing next to me, and he was looking at cards in the case, and I didn't pay attention. But then he asked the dealer a question, and I looked up, and it was John, Wade Boggs fan, and we were probably standing next to each other, like shoulder to shoulder for like 2 or 3 minutes, and neither one of us knew that the other was there, so that was funny. Saw Stuke on Thursday. I didn't see Stuke very much throughout the week. Scott, Stuke's Baseball Cards and Curiosities. Didn't see him a lot throughout the week. I did see him at the meetup on Thursday night. Got to chat with him for about maybe 10 minutes. Just a great guy, really nice guy to talk to. So knowledgeable about the cards, the hobby, different sports. He's just a really great guy to talk to. So he gave me his custom card. He's holding a 52 Mantle there in that photo. He also gave me this very nice Kyle Yastrzemski custom. Not a custom, it's Topps Archives, 2011 Topps Archives, I believe. Kyle Yastrzemski, great photo there of Yaz. Another guy I met, Drew. He's new here on YouTube. He's fairly new. Maybe within the last 4 or 6 months. I just became aware of him a couple, 2 or 3 months ago. Great channel, got a great collection. Really nice guy. Good guy to talk to. The channel, it's Clean Cheap Shots. So I was really happy to have be able to meet him in person because for the last couple of, like I said, 2 or 3 months or so, I've been following his YouTube channel and watching his videos, and he's also been watching and commenting on my videos. So it was great to actually get to meet him in person. Met him briefly at the meetup on Thursday night, I think. I can't remember what night. I know I met him at the meetup one night. I think it was Thursday. It was Thursday night. And then actually I was with Mark, and we saw him again at the show probably on Friday or Saturday. I can't remember what day. The days they all run into each other after a while. But he gave me this really nice card stand that he made, shaped like home plate, and then it's got this nice groove in it. So a PSA card fits perfectly in that groove and stands up. And really cool, really cool. Thanks so much, Drew, for that. And he also gave me the Clean Cheap Shots sticker that came with that. So with that being said, I know there were a ton of people that I've interacted with, said hello with, had nice conversations with, that I did not mention here, but it would be completely impossible to mention everybody that I've seen. There's just so many awesome people in this community. Just a great time. I'm going to end it here. Those are my thoughts, experiences, and some of these awesome things that were given to me by some great, wonderful members of this community. I probably got 2 more videos coming with my pickups from the show, so stay tuned for those. That's all I got. Leave me a comment. Always enjoy interacting with you guys. Talk to you all soon. Bye for now.